right, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I know some of you may be a little disappointed, but bear with me. We are down a couple of players, but wanted to make sure that we put some content out there for you guys. It's been a little bit since we've been on. There's stuff going on. Players, obviously have things going on in their respective lives. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to run a one-shot special. 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So joining me this evening are two of our regular players. You'll recognize them as the players that typically play Rybax and Kadura. And they are actually going to be playing two characters this evening. This is an 11th level D&D one-shot. In this adventure, the players are going to be seeking information about an ancient artifact known as the Sorrow's Snekja. Vic Mordir legends suggest that it can be used to quell the evil that dwells within Serpent Lake, but they provide few hints to its form or whereabouts. The players have been told that the most reliable source for information on ancient Vic Mordir lore is an elderly skald by the name of Bragi Bodison. He can be found in the Vic Mordir village of Crest. And so, with that, I'm going to kick it over to the players. They can introduce their characters for this evening. And hold on just one second. All right, players, how are you this evening?
Excellent.
Good.
As you may notice, one of our players is having some camera issues, but you can definitely hear him. So why don't we go ahead and start to my left, that way. So Braden, why don't you introduce your characters?
Okay, I'm playing Elixir Nightshade, an elven arcane archer. Is a spy for background and always trying to keep peace in the realms, using the information that she gathers using that profession. And then I'm also playing a dwarven cleric named Delruz. He is a mute. He took an oath of silence to his deity Moradin, but he still is in great. He still has a lot of communication, obviously through spiritual means with his deity, and he can still summon all the powers. And obviously, it's a little bit of flavoring, but obviously the somatic for him would be done through. Actually, the verbal will always be somatic.
All right. And Greg, who are you playing this evening?
Well, hi guys, it's Greg. I have two characters I'm playing today. First off, Dalaran, who is a half-drow sorcerer, a divine soul, so we'll be doing a lot of support and control spells. Is also a spy for the good of the whatever the lawful ruling party is, able to infiltrate and be very sneaky. Has a lot of skills that attest to that. Kind of similar with Happy, who's way the open hand halfling monk, who's I'm gonna have a lot of fun running around and hopefully stunning a bunch of people. That's his whole deal. He doesn't have to use weapons in order to make his voice heard.
All right, sounds good. So, so as I mentioned, you guys are. So this one shot is a preview to a new campaign that I'm working on. It is based around kind of Norse mythology. Takes place in the Midgard setting.
This isn't
and is focused on the as I mentioned, the Midgard setting. So you guys should get a little bit of flavor about what I'm working on in this particular session. And so that's basically where we're going to start.
And we have no idea where this place is? Or somebody might know.
So you know where the village of Krast is. It's well documented. It's a well-known city in the Vicmordir region of Midgard, right? So currently, the only way to get there reliably, because of the current season of the year, so it is the winter season. So the only way to get there reliably is by ship. And so, based on the information that you've been given, you've kind of chartered a vessel on your way to Krast, and you're about about a half a day out of Krast, and so Krast is a like waterfront. If you think of it, kind of like a traditional kind of waterfront Viking village, right? To where you've got a village house, which is where the Jarl who rules over Krast lives with his family, and then you've got a series of other small dwellings, but the predominant two things that this village does is fish and raid, right? And so from that perspective, you guys are about a half day out of Krast. Do you want to do so what's the background of your characters? How do you know each other? Were you assembled as part of a group to try to seek out the Sorrows Snekja? Or is it something to where you've been an adventuring group and a party for a while?
Well, Dalrin and Pappy have been employed by the main powers in the area, or maybe a nearby area, for a while. They both have similar stealthy skill sets, looking a lot less powerful than they actually are. Things like that. So they've grown to trust each other, and maybe met Delruz and Elixir sort of in their travels.
Yeah, Elixir is always looking to root out trouble, but Delruz is always on pilgrimages of his own.
Yeah, and so I mentioned early on that there's this evil that that's been kind of plaguing the countryside, and it lives within the region known as the Serpent Lake. And so from that perspective, I mean, you guys are well aware of the fact that it's almost like a Sauron kind of escalation, right? To where you've got this. There's this kind of hidden, elusive evil, but it's pervasive, right? In areas that have historically not been plagued by, trolls or orc incursions or things like that, are starting to see an uptick in those things. And so you guys are, you're interested in figuring out how to get this artifact, because you think it will aid you in bringing peace to the area. But that Bragi Bodison is the skald or the advisor to Jarl Jarlson, right? Who is the current Jarl of Krast. So that's what you're looking for him. So you make, you make it to Krast, and you pull up to the docks and you see, kind of what you would expect, right? You see, two vessels clearly looking, like they're getting ready to set out on, some kind of raid. And then a third vessel, which is tied up in front of you, which is, tending to nets and, and preparing their lines. They look like they're about ready to head out for a day of fishing. There's no greeting party for you at the dock, but it's pretty clear to you where the kind of village house is. It's, so it's adorned by a series of shields, right? So it's a typical kind of sharp angled roofed structure with a series of yellow shields with a black X through them. That kind of mark the the whole entryway, and then there's a large set of wooden double doors, and it's about 1,000 yards from the end of the pier, and the normal hustle and bustle is going on, and people are going about their their daily lives in the village.
I see no reason we shouldn't head straight there.
Yeah, Elixir is always Elixir is always soaking in everything, like kind of mentally recording everything to put together information. Like passive perception, and to the level that she has, is always on, always trying to register knowledge and information.
Pappy and Dalaran are not. They're just sort of chatting about the artifact. And Pappy is like, I'm just saying, if it's a long sword, like, neither of us are going to be able to use it. I don't think Delvers can use a sword either. So, sort of as we're making our way over to the village house, the longhouse, I guess, right? Where else would we go?
Yeah, so I mean, if the if Bragdy is the advisor to the Jarl, he'll be in the village house.
There you go. Well, Dalrin's good with the talkies, so he'll go up to the doors. Is it guarded? Is there anybody outside? Because if not, we'll just walk.
Yeah, so there are two kind of guards standing next to it. You're still a good ways off. You're probably about 150 feet away, and you see there are people kind of entering and exiting. When the door opens, you see a roaring fire, what looks like almost like a great hall, and there seems to be a bunch of people inside. There's something, some kind of village event going on, not like a party or whatever, but there's village business being attended to in the village house.
Can sort of sidle in and listen to. I'd like to listen to see if there's anything being talked about the artifact or anything like that. Or anything just sort of about the evil around here in general, or they're just sort of talking about the difficulties of collecting taxes.
So the majority of the conversation that you overhear seems to be related to kind of, day-to-day village bureaucracy, with a couple of kind of notable exceptions. So you hear about a squabble between two village residents, where apparently a goat was slain in the process, inadvertently, and it appears as if they're seeking like a verdict by the Jarl as to how to settle the dispute. The other thing that you hear is the kind of, this is the stuff outside. You haven't made it inside yet. right? The other thing that you hear is something else that kind of catches your attention. And somebody says, well, if Bragdy was here, he'd settle this.
I agree. Anyone who saw him last? Where is he?
And they kind of look at you. So give me a persuasion check.
All right.
So okay. So yeah, hang on a second. Let me go ahead and kick over to the fantasy ground so the folks watching at home can see what's going on.
Right. Just my character's just an expert at inserting himself into conversations where he was not before.
Yeah, no, clearly. So they are enamored by the eloquence with which you speak. They're so they look at you and they say, "Oh, stranger. I apologize if our conversation disrupted you. Clearly, you are a man of great influence, and I was simply remarking that the Bragdy Bodison, the Scald, the counselor to the Jarl, left a couple of days ago, and you know, we were having a dispute about looting rights, and so typically the Scald is the one who keeps the records of you know, salvage and, you know, recovery rights and things like that. And so
yes, I hear he is wise and well versed in the old laws. Of course, you would go to him for wisdom.
yes, for sure.
Where did he go?
So it wasn't shared, but we expect him back in a fortnight. Perhaps the Jarl or one of his other advisors would know where Bragdy has gone. I mean, clearly he would have had to have sought the Jarl's permission to venture forth from Krast.
Of course. Perhaps the Jarl himself would know, or someone else close to him, if strangers like myself don't usually get an audience directly with the Jarl.
Well, one with such an eloquent speaking voice and, you know, mastery of language, clearly, you know, would be someone the Jarl would be of great interest in speaking with. I do not doubt.
Oh, you. Where can we find him?
He's in the village hall, of course. He's hearing the day's business.
Ah, that must be him in the big chair and the sign pointing towards it saying the Jarl.
Yeah, there's a big neon sign. It's like, Jarl here.
Blinking.
Yeah. No, so yeah, so he's, you know, that's again common knowledge. You would know that, you know, the Jarl and his family live in the village house. They attend to either the day or the week's business depending on what's going on. And so it seems like, according to the information you were given, the Jarl is in the process of attending to the day's business.
Let's go give him the business.
All right. So, so you guys make your way to the door?
We
Yeah.
do.
Okay. All right. So, so as you get to the door, the guards kind of cross axes as you approach, and they say, "State your business."
We are seeking Bragdy Bodison. Or he has some information that we seek, and that perhaps we could find him near here.
Bragdy ain't here. He'll be back in a fortnight.
Right. Well, the evil waits for no man, so we were wondering if we could talk to the Jarl and maybe find out where he is and talk to Bracty ourselves.
Y'all don't see anyone on business days without village business.
How many of them are there? Are there one or two?
There's 2 guards.
Okay.
The only one of them has been speaking to you. The other one is just kind of standing there. Give me a insight check.
I'm great at those.
I'm not bad. Give me a second here. Let me find it.
Hey. Better somehow.
Let's see what our cleric can do here. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right.
Nothing.
All right. So you get the sense that the guy talking is like the senior of the two, for some reason, and the other guy appears to be kind of either in training or like just subordinate to him. So there's a kind of a clear hierarchy here that you're making out from the two of them. The guy who hasn't been talking is just like he looks a little nervous, as if this guy may be stepping outside of his bounds a bit, but he doesn't want to say anything because he is his subordinate.
Well,
So
I'm
he'll-
just pretty sure that these guys are just doing their job. So,
Yeah.
did you want to pipe up or?
Well, he'll just nudge Elixir in the ribs to pay more attention.
I'll sort of say, well, I understand where you're coming from. You have to do your jobs, but as you know, evil waits for nobody, and it's very possible that Bragdy may be in danger if he went after the same evil and the same legends that we seek. We only wish to get information from the Jarl. Nothing more, no favors, and we will be on our way.
Jarl demands a tribute. That's the other guy says.
What kind of tribute?
Well, an audience with the Jarl will get you information, perhaps, but if you truly wish to make an impression, and the other guy kind of pushes his axe back, he's like, shh, there'll be no visitations today.
Oh, hang on. I'd like to hear your friend out here. I mean, surely the Jarl is a man of culture who appreciates tribute.
Well, Jockin doesn't know what he's saying. He's gonna just get himself killed if he keeps piping up. Now knock it off. And he says, well, so clearly the other guy is much more well spoken, right? And his name is Jackin.
Jackin's the superior.
Jackin is the inferior, the subordinate. And so Jackin says, well, that may be the case, but if these visitors from out of town come bearing a gift for the Jarl, surely we wouldn't be in a position to deny them entry, would we now? And the other guy says, well, I guess not, but
And you wouldn't want to have the Jarl hear that there was somebody who turned away people coming bearing gifts in good faith?
Well, I get up, well, alright, well, show me the gift then.
Let's see what we have here.
So what I will say is that you have
I have soap.
well, no, what I'll say is along your adventures you've acquired some items, one of which is a hand axe. It's a +1 hand axe. It's finely crafted, and it bears some runes that you have been unable to decipher. But, you know, a sidebar to that is that you were thinking that maybe Bragdy or Braggy could decipher them for you, being a skald and a man of great wisdom, which is why you brought it. And so that's what you've got.
Ooh, check out the runes are pretty sparkly, and we're not exactly sure what it says, but we're sure it must say something really cool. Now, we also think that your Skald may be able to figure out some more information about it, but obviously we'll need to take it to the Jarl first to make sure that it's safe. Wouldn't you say?
Let me see that. And he puts his hand out. Do you hand it to him?
Look with your eyes, not with your hands. The Jarl is the only person who's allowed to take a close look at this.
All right. So would you like to persuade him not to touch it, or would you like to intimidate him from touching it?
I'll intimidate him. I'll
Okay.
say, my God, keep away from it. Man, it could destroy you. Who knows? You know, so you wouldn't want you breaking it before your boss could take a look at it, would you? Ugh.
No. Well, I'll be the judge of that. I think it's just a trinket, and I want to touch it. Yeah. He isn't the brightest bulb in the pack. So.
But, okay, you know, I'll hand it over to him.
All right, so you hand it over to him, and it he takes it in his hand and he looks at it, and it has normally it has like a faint blue glow to it, but as soon as he comes in contact with it, as soon as he touches it, it starts to glow bright red, and you see him like look at it, and his face goes from like, oh yeah, I'm the man, to oh shit, I'm screwed, right? Because he immediately drops it, right? And it lands in the snow at his feet, and it just kind of it begins to sizzle, right? And the snow begins to melt, and you know, and the area around it kind of gets cleared, but you know, the snow around it gets cleared as it, you know, as soon as it came into his possession, he clearly was unable to wield it, and it objected against him holding it. So he steps back for a second, and he says, what kind of sorcery is take your trinket and get inside.
I say, oh, that explains it. It's a sword of detect idiots. And I pull it out of the snow.
Wait a sec. Go see the Jarl.
I glance at his friend, like, with a knowing look in my eye.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
boy,
the other...
one day they'll promote you over him. Don't worry about it.
And he kind of nods back. And so, you know, so they open the door, and you see there's just a big line of people standing there kind of waiting for an audience with the Jarl, and you're kind of escorted to the line, and as you're standing there, you hear a bunch of different things, you know. There's a woman who gets before the Jarl, and you hear that, you know, her house was attacked, she says, by trolls, and her husband was killed, and you know, she's asking for her house was burned down, and she's asking for protection and accommodation. So she's asking for a place here in the village where she could be safe. And you know, and the Jarl basically calls over a couple of his soldiers, and you know, and he says, you know, make sure that she's attended to, and and she says, "Oh, thank you. You are most wise." And she walks away. And there's a bunch of different stories that you hear just about different raids and things that had gone on, and ultimately you get to the front of the line, and what you see is a human fighter, you presume, very large, wearing furs, and he's got a large two-handed axe at his side. Next to him is a woman who is dressed in kind of a felt dress, which is like a purple with yellow accents. And there are a couple of kids that kind of periodically come running out, and and she kind of attends to them, and then they go back off and do what they're doing. And he says, "State your business."
We seek to give tribute to the Jarl, and we seek information.
Well, you've got an audience with the Jarl, so what can I do for you today?
Well, we are experienced adventurers who are seeking to find out more information about how to slay this evil that plagues this town. We have heard Vigmadir legends of a particular artifact that we may be able to find to help us, but we seek the wisdom of Bragi Bodison, and we heard that you may be able to tell us where he is. In exchange, we have this strange artifact that you may be interested in. We're not sure exactly where it came from, and I sort of slowly present the sword out to him. I say, but we have come across it in our adventures. We thought that you may have some chance of identifying it.
It's actually a hand axe.
Oh.
But yeah, so you present it, and he as soon as you kind of remove it from your pack and you hold it out in front of you, he stands up, and he looks down and he says, "Do you know what you have here?"
No. We thought it may be of some importance, which is why we kept it carefully, carried it carefully with us during our travels.
This axe, may I? And he reaches his hand out.
Look with your eyes. No, I'm kidding. No.
Yeah, he reaches his hand out. So do you hand it to him?
Yes, handle first.
So he reaches out and he takes it, and as soon as he takes it,
I'm sorry. Should I? My character probably would have warned him beforehand. I said I handed this to your guard outside. He insisted on seeing it before allowing me passage, and it burned his hand and fell to the floor, even melting the snow around it.
I am not surprised. Those that are unworthy cannot bear the Vigmordir hand axe. It's this axe here is from the first age, when the original settlers came to Vigmordir to set up this village and many others like it. This axe was probably used to fell some of the trees that were used to build this very building.
No wonder it's not a longsword. I thought it was just to detect idiots.
No.
Well, that's extremely impressive. I'm glad that we could bring it back to its rightful place of origin.
So as he kind of holds it up, you see now what was when you held it, a kind of faint blue glow. You see now a deep blue glow, almost illuminating the entire room as he holds it. And and he says, "I wish that Bragi was here to see this. He would have taken great pleasure in seeing this item brought before me.
And seeing you look like that as well, Your Eminence. If you have a half-brother or something like that trying to usurp your throne, just do that in front of a bunch of people, and I think you'll be okay.
So, your praise is appreciated. So what can I do in exchange for this elaborate gift?
Well, so you already mentioned Braggy Bodison, and you astutely observed that he probably already knows the history behind this great axe, this great hand axe. And we also seek information about an artifact that may known as Soros Nekja, that may be able to help us fight the evil that dwells within Serpent Lake. We understand he is gone, and he would not have been able to go anywhere without your say-so. We understand he'll be back in a fortnight, but we wish to get the drop on evil if we can. Can you tell us where he is?
So, I dispatched Bragi to the burial mound known as the Tomb of the Forgotten Jarl. He was his objective was to find out the identity of its occupant and bring back any information that may be of value that could help us against this evil from Serpent Lake. So I can provide you with a map to the Tomb of the Forgotten Jarl. If you truly believe that Bragi might be in danger, then your help is appreciated. Clearly, anyone who is able to wield this axe is worthy of my respect, number one, and number two, would be an invaluable ally in the safe return of my trusted counselor.
I bow slightly to him and say, perhaps in fighting, if he is in danger, an axe of such quality would surely be in his hands. No, would he be able to wield it? It may help him. Be able to give it to him. We find him.
Very well. My cartographer will provide you with a map. Be aware, though, that many have traveled to the Tomb of the Forgotten Jarl, and few have ever returned. Most, even after return, have found challenge with the pursuit of their life afterwards. They were changed in some way. So, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you Godspeed in returning Bragdi to my court. But I caution disturbing anything in the tomb that you are not familiar with, nor would know how to deal with. Trust Bragdi, or trust Bragi. He knows all of the lore and the history of that place. And so he kind of he beckons over a guy who he's kind of young and kind of skinny compared to some of these other guys. I mean, a lot of the people in this court are clearly kind of grizzled fighters, right? They've earned their stripes in combat, and many of them are kind of older than you would think that the typical soldiers would be, but they've got long kind of white beards, and so this younger guy comes over and he says, I can help you. I've got a map that'll lead you right to the tomb. Please come with me. And he kind of bows to the Jarl real quick, and he beckons you towards what looks like a small desk, kind of in the corner of the village house.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Elixir is constantly looking for anything that catches her eye that could be of use.
I'll follow him over to the desk though.
Okay, so in terms of what could be of use, so you see a guy sitting in the corner with a hood. He's kind of if there's a roaring fire in the center of this building, right? Roaring fire, it illuminates the whole space, right? But if there could be a shady corner, it's where this guy is, right? And the thing that strikes you about him is that he's got a series of small bottles and vials, and and behind him there's a small kind of wooden shelf that seems to contain a bunch of different like little small containers with a strange kind of writing that you're not familiar with on them. And so that's kind of the thing that jumps out at you. Other than that, everything else kind of seems normal, but this one person in the corner, there's nobody around him. He's just kind of sitting there. And so that's where we are.
Elixir will approach that one chap in the corner.
Sure. So when you get closer, you notice that his face is horribly disfigured. He looks like he was either burned or something happened to him. His face is just horribly disfigured, which is why he wears the hood up over his head. And he kind of looks up at you, and he says, "What can I do for you?"
We are here on a mission, but I just noticed you here sitting in the corner, and I just figured I'd come over and say hello.
Well, hello. I am Kritha. I am in your land, I'm probably referred to as an alchemist, or I don't know, maybe a wizard or sorcerer or the like. Here I am the Jarl shaman and alchemist. I read the bones and I prepare concoctions that some find useful. And when so I'm purposely speaking like this guy. His mouth doesn't move like a normal person's mouth. There's too much like scar tissue. So it's got like a V, right here in the center. It dips down almost over the bottom lip. And so he's a little bit difficult to understand, and he speaks very slowly and deliberately.
Pap is half east.
Then we missed half of that, Greg. Go ahead and say it again.
Pappy had what telepathy. He's talking to him.
He has telepathy. Okay.
Look so weird. Ask him about his face.
Oh man. Ask him. I think he's sick. So your connection is a little rough, but I believe you're asking him to ask him about his face.
Yeah. He's being a jerk about it. Practically like, oh my, it's so weird.
The
Yes.
he wants to ask him how long he's known the Jarl.
This Jarl I have been in his service since he acquired his seat 5 years ago. I served the prior Jarl for 10 years before that, before he unfortunately fell. This Jarl is a good man, fair and just.
Would you have any concoctions that would be of use to me?
Well, I guess that depends on what you would have in exchange. I do not prepare things for free. My services come at great expense, often to myself.
Are you a man who's interested in gold?
Gold has its place. I am also interested in items of the arcane sort. Anything that I can use to bring glory to my Jarl and power to my concoctions.
Then when I return from this quest, I will speak with you again.
Very well. Where is it that you are headed, may I ask?
To where Bragi went.
To the tomb of the forgotten Jarl. I have been to this place.
You have?
It is not for the faint of heart.
I suppose not. Well, it was nice to meet you. We shall meet again.
Is that how you got so scarred? Something you saw in there? What can we expect?
Well, if you are unaware of the lore, then there are many things that may do you harm. Let me provide you something which may aid you in your quest.
Is it a map? Because we have a map.
It is not a map.
Great!
Forgive the impertinence of my colleagues. They lack the experience of...
Says this. I can easily overlook the hubris of the small ones. The potion that I have provided you should aid you, should you suffer any ill effects of the tomb. I have put it in the party sheet.
Thank you. Let's see.
So he says, you,
Oh, it's just a healing potion.
So he doesn't exactly tell you what the potion does. He just says it will aid you should you suffer any ill effects in the tomb. So let me know if you plan to use it, and I'll tell you what it does.
Noted.
All right. So the cartographer gives you a map, which shows you the way to the tomb of the forgotten Jarl. And he says, when you get there, just be careful. The entryway is guarded by an ancient spirit that may look like it may not appear in its natural form. Many people have have reported being attacked by a spirit that guards the entryway. So just be aware. It could be hidden and appearing as something normal, but the tomb is not frequently visited, so there should not be signs of recent activity. If you see any, it can only mean one thing. Either there's trouble in the form of bandits, or the spirits have been roused. Says so here you go, and good luck. So did you guys, is there anything else you wanted to do in Krast before you head out?
I can't think of anything.
Boom, baby, it might be two things. I don't know. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
I can't think of anything extra to do.
Okay. All right. So the map, it's less than a day's journey. It's about, I don't know, probably about 4 hours. Yeah. So so the cartographer isn't exactly the brightest. He's good at drawing maps, but he's not good at math. Anyway, so it's about a 4-hour journey, and the Jarl will provide you horses, so that you can get there in that time frame. Otherwise, by foot, it would probably be about 8 hours. And given the conditions, it would be a very unpleasant trek through the snow. So you guys head out? All right. Okay, so one of you guys roll me a d12. Okay, so the journey there passes without issue. You arrive outside the location, so you see So you know that the Vicmordir custom is to build a burial mound, right? So there's kind of a mound, and then inside is typically the tomb is dug out from the inside of the mound. So so the opening of the tomb is a burrow in the south side of the burial mound, and you see a small kind of cutout of the mound. And here, I'll share the map for you. Hold on, let me go ahead and stop this and get some other music going on.
Nice.
Get the tunes up.
What tunes, man?
All right, so you guys, all right, so it's windy as you approach, and so the snow blows and drifts, and you guys approach the entryway, and you see that right beyond the cutout there's a small corridor, and the corridor leads to a narrow stairway that descends into a more refined complex. 2 burning torches are affixed at either side of the top steps. So here, I'm going to go ahead and share the map for you. Let me go ahead and get this set up for our folks at home. Oop, I didn't mean to do that.
No, I didn't see anything.
All right, nobody saw anything.
Saw what?
I mean, it was huge. I took. No way I could memorize it. It's too big.
Yeah.
Like my screen is still gone. Let me see.
All right, let me drag you guys onto the map here.
Resize. There it is. There it is. It is.
Okay, so yeah, so you so this is the entryway. Let me go ahead and center that so that our folks following at home can see. Good. All right, apologies for that brief misstep. I'm a little rusty. It's been a couple of weeks, so I apologize, but we'll get back in the mix here real quick. So as I mentioned, okay, there are two torches burning, and there's a staircase kind of leading up, which you guys can see here. Hold on. So you can see to the top of the staircase. But you can't see further than that. So
Okay.
that's what we see.
Um,
So what do you guys want to do?
one of us should head down there. Pappy will volunteer, unless anybody else wants to try to stealth and see what's going on over there down the staircase.
I mean, Elixir's stealthy too, so they can.
Go for it, Elixir.
Okay. Do.
All right, hang on a second. Hang on.
Yeah.
So as you approach, as you get right about here, you hear two voices kind of in chorus that kind of call out, "This place is guarded. What is your business here?"
We seek Baragi.
Please. Yes.
The Scald has entered, but has not exited.
Is he well?
Unknown. What?
Are you well?
We are quite well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm well too. May we pass?
So the voice says, "Please wait."
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have a dragon chest set?
Do you are you just gonna wait?
For a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes. Why not?
You are permitted to enter, so long as you do not disrupt the tomb. If you do disrupt the tomb, then you will face the toil.
Is the toil a person?
And the voices stop responding.
Okay. Well, let's go. I guess we should probably keep our hands to ourselves.
Yeah. Alright, so
All right, hold on. I'm just revealing some area for you. Hold on.
Shall we, is anybody any good at investigation? They want to make sure there aren't any traps.
All right, so there's a T intersection. There's a wooden door to the west and a stone door to the east, and the hallway continues on up ahead. Yeah. So the hallway continues up ahead.
West has an interesting looking door. Look at that.
West it is. I check to see if the door's open.
It is not open. It is definitely closed.
I can
Yeah.
try Mage Hand on the handle, make sure it's not trapped. Maybe we can go back into the other room real quick.
Okay. So the handle is not locked.
Let's open it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you open the door.
Wisdom save.
To reveal a large room that houses 6 upright mummified war horses. Atop layers of linen wrappings are the accoutrements one would expect to see worn by battle-ready mounts for a king. So there are 6.
Make note of it, but
I see no reason to disturb these beasts.
there appears to be a door to the west.
No, the hallway continues on. Okay. Hang on, I want to make sure we don't lose everybody here. Okay. Continues to the west, and there is an intersection, or sorry, there is a bend in the hallway which leads up to another stone door.
Dalred will go a little closer and try the handle with Mage Hand. Sort of wiggle it a little bit, see if it's locked.
The door appears to be locked.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It is not locked. I apologize. It is not locked.
Yeah, Elixir or
Yeah, Elixir will.
Elris can open it.
Elixir will open it.
Alexa, open the door.
Actually, that should.
Okay, so this antechamber has recently been turned into a makeshift office that includes a desk, chair, and several stacks of supplies. The contorted body of a robed figure lies in the center of the room, surrounded by a large pool of dried blood. Bloody footprints lead away to the door to the north.
No, this must be Dude.
I will look at the body.
No.
Okay. So because you've never seen him, it's tough to say if it is in fact Bragi.
Mm-hmm.
But he is dressed in a way kind of typical of what a skald would be dressed in.
Okay. I'll search the body.
Any distinguishing features or anything like that? Maybe a ring, a signet ring or something we can bring back as proof that we found him.
Yeah. Hang on one second. I want to put something out there for you so that you.
Delros, can't you bring him back to the world of the living?
Actually, let's say. Obviously, he can't speak, but let us see what are the extent of his powers.
Yeah, I
Well,
did not take.
no, because he has Revivify.
I think
Oh,
it
actually,
only
no.
works.
Hold on. All right. So the question is, did Delruz have a diamond worth 500 gold?
All right. So I just put that G down there. That's the dead body, just so that you guys know. There is let's see. So there's a bunch of mundane items, and there's a journal laying on the desk with spattering of blood across the parchment. So there's a there's a book on the desk.
Dalrin will go over and flip open the journal and see if it's signed Bogby or whatever.
It appears to be written in the same kind of runic writing that you saw on that axe, that you are unable to read, unless one of you has a skill that would enable you to read Vic Mordir runic writing.
Next level.
Yeah, within the next couple of levels, honestly, I think for a monk.
Okay. All right.
Not yet.
So, if one of you wants to give me an investigation check on the body, I'll let you know if you find anything else that might help to identify him. Well, not with that roll. Or that one.
Huh.
There you go.
Peppy has these tiny hands.
Okay,
And
so
all the little nooks and crannies.
yeah, no, for sure. So you notice that he is wearing like a leather, like forearm piece that has an inscription on it, but it also has a symbol, which is a yellow circle with a black X through it. At the bottom, so it would be roughly about the elbow. Just above the elbow, there's a circle with a black, yellow circle with a black X through it, on each of his forearms. And then the other thing that he has is he's got a small pouch that he's carrying, which has a couple of trinkets in it. One of which looks very similar to a smaller version. It's a chain. It looks like a smaller version of a chain that the Jarl was wearing when he was sitting in the village house.
All right. We'll take that stuff, and since Pappy found the leather bracers, he'll try them on. Did he recognize the yellow circle with the black X through it?
He does. It's the same symbol as the shields that adorned the village house in Krast.
Can I wear them? Are they halfling size?
No, so they're full-size human size, so they extend kind of beyond. They extend beyond the elbow, which makes them kind of useless to you. So they go up to about mid bicep for you.
They look pretty funny. I'll hand them to Dalaran to try them on.
Okay. So what I was saying is that you found a couple of leather bracers with a yellow circle and a black X through it, which looks like the symbol that was on the shields that adorned the village house when you approached. And so Pappy tried them on, but they're human size, so they're too big for him. So I think he passed them over to you.
No, I passed him over to my sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
I'm being selfish.
Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop them in the party sheet. There you go. And so there's a wooden door to the north, and then obviously you've got the option of heading back the way you came.
To the north. The north remembers.
So I'm sorry, who has the bracers?
I do.
And which character?
Dalaran.
Is Dalaran gonna put them on?
Yes, I mean taking a closer look at them, to try to figure out what they might be. It's the description says that they're metal, so if it looks like more of a heavy armor thing, it might not be.
They're not metal. They're actually leather.
Oh, okay.
So he's a sorcerer?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Arcana, baby.
I don't know anything about Arcana.
Okay.
Obviously.
So you get the sense that they may be, they may have some magic properties, but you're unsure.
Yeah.
So you'd have to spend an hour kind of attuning to them, which would allow you to take advantage of whatever benefit or detriment that they may have.
Poor guy was wearing them, so I hope it's not detrimental, but we'll just keep them on me for now.
Okay. All right.
What I'd like to do is move the body into a corner, sort of out of the way, into the shadow. Maybe something that's try to eat it. Maybe we can try to give it a proper burial later. Shall we?
Okay. All right. So there's a doorway to the north, and then, like I said, back the way you came.
Okay.
So what would you guys like to do?
Go through the door.
To the north?
To the north.
So are you going to open it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so there's another hallway, which leads to another door, another wooden door, that, the hallway kind of bends to the east, which leads to another wooden door.
Is it open?
Alright.
It's not open, it's closed, but it's not locked.
Can I hear anything?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yes.
I almost said notice because, Savage Worlds, but yeah. So thanks for the follow, Absolute Kelly. Appreciate it.
Absolute Kelly rules.
So on that note, while we're sorting out this amazing perception roll, If you have not yet, man, we really appreciate it if you'd follow and all that good stuff, because it really helps us. We're closing in on 50 followers, which would be fantastic. We're kind of small, and so I appreciate it. So anybody who has not yet followed, please do go ahead and hit that follow button. It means a lot to us.
The more you follow, the more randos show up to watch.
That's right. So we're looking to expand our audience. I know tonight is kind of a special one-off type deal, but again, we really appreciate it. And frankly, if you like what we're doing, if you like this content, if you like this storyline, and you want me to flesh it out into a full-blown campaign setting, and in a campaign, let me know. Because I've been thinking about doing it for a while, but I'm looking for some feedback, so really appreciate it. All right, so did you want to go ahead and open this door?
Yes. Well, you did. I'm sorry. Rewind. Did I hear anything?
Sorry. He
tried to gloss over it, everybody. He tried to ignore it.
No. So you hear what sounds like air escaping from under the door, as if like on the other side of this door, that the room on the other side is positively ventilated somehow, and so it makes this kind of this like faint whistling sound as it passes under the door, and as you take a minute to listen to it, you hear it's like.
Is there any part of the structure of the wall of this corridor that has edges so I could tie off a rope?
It is pretty well carved, there's no real kind of sharp edges. What you think you would need to do is drive in a piton,
okay,
and potentially tie off a rope to it. But yeah, there's no there's nowhere that it would it would be easy to do without like defacing the wall.
Happy puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, "This is right up my alley. Let me take a look around, friend."
Okay.
All right, so he's going to sort of throw them, say, hey, you might want to go back around the corner.
Okay.
Who knows how strong this wind is going to be? Maybe even into that last room. And he's going to sort of get into sort of a, make sure his center of gravity is as low as possible, and throw open the door, basically expecting to have like a barrage of wind hit him.
Sure. And so as you open the door, here, let me go ahead and reveal the room for you. All right, so there is in fact a gust of wind. So when the door opens, it kind of slams against the wall as it opens. So as the pressure is released from the door handle, the latch, it swings open, and there is a burst of wind. It blows your hair back. It doesn't blow you back, right? But it seems as if this space, like something, kind of trapped this air in here, and it was slowly seeping out under the door. And when you look around, you see that this room, all the walls are engraved with scenes depicting tales of the forgotten Jarl, and these must be the reason these must be the reason why that what you now know to be Boggy, the dead skald, sought to research this location. Dried bloody footprints trail from the east and trail from the west and continue to east. So you see bloody footprints across the floor headed towards that wooden or that stone door, and the again the walls are just painted with all these different scenes. Like the north wall is not painted but engraved. But the north wall is an engraving of a ship, a longboat. With there are these large tentacles coming out of the water, kind of going over it. There's about 4 of them, and you see what looks like you would presume is the Jarl, and he's brandishing a large 2-handed axe, and he seems to have cut off one of the tentacles. Hey, thanks, Boom Baby. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. So it looks like the Jarl has cut off one of the tentacles, and the other. So there's a bunch of other Vic Mortier fighters in the back who are kind of trying to keep the tentacles at bay, but he's like proudly standing on the front of the ship, wielding this axe. The far wall, the one where the stone door is a carving of the Jarl sitting on his on his chair. It's not really a throne, but he's sitting on his chair, and there's a bunch of people kind of at his foot, and he's got his hand up, and then in front of him, like right between him and the people, is what looks like a bounty, like a feast, right? And he's got his hand up, kind of offering it to the people.
Very cool. Okay. Now these
So you can't really make out what is to the south or what is on the west wall because you're kind of looking in. You can kind of see what's to the south, but you can't see like that back corner.
Yeah. And these are engravings directly into the wall, right? It's not like tapestries or anything like that.
Yeah, no, they're carved right into the stone. I mean, this is elaborate, right? So clearly this took a long time to build. Like somebody spent a lot of time trying to chronicle the life of this Jarl.
I'll try my best not to step directly on any of the engravings as I walk onto the wall. And I walk around the wall, on the wall.
So that actually reminds me real quick. So the floor, the floor of this chamber, aside from the bloody footprints that I described earlier, the floor of this chamber it's got it almost looks as if like when the floor was laid, there were long strips of what looks like gold inlaid in the floor. So so probably about I don't know, maybe 2 feet apart, there are these long strips of gold that run from west to east to west, either way.
Okay. Do they go up the walls? Or
They do not. So it's just the floor.
Okay.
And if you want to investigate, I can tell you a little bit more.
I'll take a look at them as I go by, but I'm not going to touch them or anything like that. So I'll make it.
So you're gonna step over them, or? I mean, they're running the length of the room, east to west, right? So they're at 2-foot increments.
I'm walking on the wall. I can walk across vertical surfaces and across liquids without falling.
Okay, so you're walking across the wall?
On the wall, yes.
Okay. So it looks like the gold is laid into some kind of channel, right? So that the stone was channeled out, and then the gold was almost poured in after the stonework was done on the floor.
Beautiful. I'll admire it, but sort of move on. I also want to check the west wall tapestry and the south wall tapestry, the ones that were a little bit more difficult for me to see.
So the south is a carving of the Jarl. He's kind of he's looking up to the heavens, and you see the faces of what you presume are maybe Vic Bordier gods, kind of in the clouds, and he's got his arms up, like both arms up in the air, and there's what looks like a ray of light descending from the clouds and surrounding him. And now that you're taking a good look at it, he's almost up off the ground, like 5 feet, give or take, and almost as if he's floating there in this like beam of energy. And then on the west wall, you see there's a picture of a longboat, and it's engulfed in flames. And there's a bunch of it's like the dock, and the boat is out in the bay a little bit, but it's engulfed in flames, and there are a series of people standing on the dock. Some, well, not all standing, but some are standing, some are kneeling. There appears to be like men standing kind of like almost saluting, and then there are women who have their hands, their head in their hands, and they're kind of bent over, and then on the boat that's on the longboat that's on fire, there's a woman standing on the mast, surrounded by the flames, dressed in a gown, like a dress, and she just has this kind of peaceful look on her face, even though she's surrounded by flames on this boat.
Is she on fire?
It's tough to tell. I mean, the flames are all around her. She doesn't look distressed. She almost looks happy.
Witch. Total witch. What about? So there's a ship, and a bay, and a dock, and people on the dock on the bay. Is Otis Redding there?
No, he missed this particular Vic Bordier funeral ceremony.
Okay, fair enough. My end goal is to get around to the door and see if it's locked.
Okay, it is not locked.
I'm going to use my telepathy to get Elixir's probably still in earshot. I can just sort of yell over, like, it's a bit windy, maybe not touch the gold things, but I don't think it's dangerous. And then I'll open the door.
Hey, Graven Nightshade, thanks for the follow. We really appreciate it, man.
So you open the door, but you don't need anything from us at the moment, right?
No.
Okay.
You guys can follow. I think I don't think the floor is trapped, but if it is, maybe there's some alternate ways you guys can get over.
Elixir stepped into the room.
Okay. So are you purposely avoiding the gold channels, or are you just walking normally?
All right. How evenly spaced are the gold channels?
They're 2 feet apart. So there are lines across the length of the room. They're 2 feet apart. Now you can easily, step between them, like cautiously walk your way from one side to the other, but it's up to you.
I think as an elf, yes, the elf would definitely do this.
So walk cautiously across the room?
Yes.
Okay. You make it across the room with no difficulty. When you're in the room, though, standing, you feel a breeze, like whichever carving you're looking at, you get almost an emotional connection to it. So if you look at the funeral the funeral ceremony, you smell the fire, you hear the wood burning, you smell the salt water, right? You feel the wind, right? If you look at the one with the ship, you feel the ocean waves, the surge. You smell the salty air. You smell the kind of fishy smell associated with whatever this creature is that was attacking the ship. When you look at the one on the east wall, where it's the feast. I mean, you smell the freshly prepared food, the fresh baked bread, the roaring fire of the village hall. So each carving that you look at, you get like a sensory response to that particular carving.
Okay. All right. And Delruz will do the same and avoid interacting with anything in the room, gold lines and whatnot.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and you're able to make it to the other side of the room with no difficulty.
Same with Dalrin, but Dalrin's actually going to cast guidance on himself and take a slightly closer look at the gold bars and see if they're maybe even magical, trapped in nature. Still not going to touch them. I'm not going to physically interact with them.
All right. So go ahead and give me a religion check.
I may as well add a D4 to that.
Okay.
So
the gold bars themselves don't have any kind of property that you're picking up. However, the room itself is just awash with divine energy. That almost as if, like, especially when you look at when you look at the carving to the south, like that. Having a divine sense and looking at the carving to the south, you just feel the divine energy radiating off of it, almost as if the gods are right there, like you're in their presence.
It's a feeling I'm familiar with, since I'm sort of a divine soul. So I'll sort of maybe take a knee and kind of give a short prayer myself for generally anti-evil spirits, pro feeding the people, pro killing krakens or whatever.
So you feel a kind of an energy kind of pass over you, as if your act of respect has ultimately kind of given you some favor. You're not sure exactly what it is yet, but almost as if like the hair on the back of your neck stands up.
Dalrin says, "You guys, I feel more important than I usually do. Even more important than I usually do."
Yeah.
But we'll go through the door unless anybody else wants to pray too. Pappy's not much of a
riverboat gambler.
So did you want to open the door?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What do you guys want to...
Away.
Pappy will scout out a little bit. He hasn't done too much scouting.
There we go. Sorry, there's a long hallway and then a T intersection leading to the south.
He's gonna try to press himself up against the wall and make him look as small as his halfling self can.
Okay. And you can see there is, so all of these stone doors that you've passed previously, had just a handle. The one at the end of the hallway clearly has some kind of lock mechanism on it.
I'll go up to it and investigate it further.
Did you want to look down that hallway?
Yeah, as I'm passing, I would assume that it's just sort of 10 feet that meet up, but...
So give me a, hold on. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
Hey.
Alright, you get the sense that there's a secret door.
Ooh.
Sort of his 1 foot sort of stops still, and the rest of his body takes like a second and a half to like catch up with the rest of him. He kind of has to do this like awkward like flip around and he ends up facing the opposite direction. And he's like, hang on, and he takes out his quarter staff and starts like tapping on the walls.
Yeah, so that area where it's like kind of cut out right there, there appears to be some kind of secret door there.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look closer to see if I can see how it opens. Maybe push against the wall, see if there's any give.
So it looks like it actually falls into the floor. So you think that there's a mechanism. So you notice a very small hole that looks like a coin would fit into. And the door, like the wall itself, there's a small gap in the top and there's a small gap in the bottom, almost as if it kind of slides down and slides up.
So you're telling me that there's a gap in the bottom there, huh?
There's a gap in the bottom and there's a gap in the top. And then there's a small hole in the wall where it looks like maybe a coin or some other, it's about coin size.
Right. Okay. Dalrin is going to polymorph into a little spider, and he's going to crawl under the little gap at the bottom.
All right. So when you get to the edge, you notice that it doesn't. So the door itself is longer than so the wall, right, is longer than the rest of the hallway.
Okay.
There's enough space where you can kind of squeeze through, right? But when you look in there, you see a series of chains that lead down to what looks like a space that you think the wall would fit into. You can try to go around and come up on the other side if you want, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll roll stealth. I'm not sure how good it is for a spider. Probably pretty good. And continue on. I'm just trying to, see if I can find my way into the room beyond. If not, I can get out.
So, go if you want to stealth your way in, that's fine.
Yeah. See, Dalrin is proficient. I'll just roll stealth. As Dalrin, I don't have a spider NPC up right now.
Okay. So, you make it to the other side, and kind of peek into the room, and it's very dark. But basically, what you see a massive stone chest sitting between two Vic Mordir warrior statues that appear to be carved from the same type of stone.
Okay.
And then otherwise the room is empty.
All right. Is there a way that I can crawl into the chest? Is there a keyhole through which I can crawl? Maybe even.
There, yeah. There's a small, not really a keyhole. So it doesn't appear to be locked. It's more like a box, right? It doesn't have like a typical, it doesn't have like a typical, like lock mechanism in the front.
I see.
It's just like a stone box, more or less.
Is it? Does it appear to be like affixed to the floor?
It. Did you want to crawl right up next to it and take a look?
Yes.
All right. It doesn't appear to be affixed to the floor. It looks like it could move, but it looks like it would be exceedingly heavy.
Okay. Okay. Does it look like it can be opened?
Here,
Is there a lid on
I'm
it?
describing the whole room, so I might as well reveal it.
Oh, okay.
So here we go. So let me just hold on one second. Bear with me just one second. I'm trying to pull up a token here real quick.
Don't worry, I have a plan. I'm gonna kill them both. No.
So just imagine that's made of stone instead of wood. And then those two things at the top and bottom, those are warrior statues.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Well, definitely shouldn't defile it. We don't want to go through the trimming or whatever it was called. The. Damn it. Look. Let's go find the dude and maybe he can give us advice on how to actually get these treasures. I'm gonna crawl back out.
Okay.
It's up to an hour, so I have plenty of time. So I will just sort of make my way back out.
As a spider.
So I'm just putting that there to signify where the door is.
Sure. And I'll back up into a half drow, and I'll say there was a chest in there, guarded by a couple of stone statues, but like they were saying before, I'm not sure we want to disturb anything in this temple right now. Let's go find our friend. And maybe he can help us find the things we're allowed to take, if anything.
Okay. I can live with that.
Alright. Should we explore to the east or try to see if we can pick the lock here? I do have thieves' tools proficiency.
As do I.
Sweet. You have better dexterity, so why don't you try?
That's fine. We're talking about northeast, right?
I would say northeast.
So as you get closer to it, you notice that that those bloody footprints lead kind of under this door. So continue down this hallway and under this door. So you notice, or so you observe that it did have a locking mechanism, but it's difficult to determine how to disable it. So if somebody wants to go ahead and give me a perception check, see if you could try to figure out how potentially to open this door.
Alright. Perception.
Whoops. Hit it hard. I can punch it.
Okay, so Elixir notices a small lever hidden in the door. It's kind of it almost like the lever is up, and without like really close inspection, you just wouldn't even have seen it. But now that you're kind of focusing in and looking, you see what looks like a stone lever, right? That kind of would pop out of the door that you could pull down. So.
Okay. Elixir will activate the lever.
Drop a little here too.
Okay. So. All right. So you activate the lever. The door actually. Hold on. So the door ascends into the ceiling.
Nice.
And when the door ascends into the ceiling, hang on 1 second. All right, when the door ascends into the ceiling, hold on, I lost my page. There we go. When the door ascends into the ceiling, you notice two creatures emerge from the back of the room and begin moving towards you at the door. So we'll go ahead and roll initiative at this point.
Rolling initiative.
Yay, initiative.
Let's see. There's one, and Delrus, the mute. What? So you're saying they have an aggressive posture?
No doubt.
Land apartment ganger.
All right, so let's see. Elixir is coming in hot. Is gonna.
All right, hang on 1 second.
Yes.
Apparently not.
It's coming in cold. Elixir's coming in cold.
Covered in lukewarm. I'll be right back, guys.
Yes.
Okay, Elixir is going to be up first.
Let me know when you're ready, sir.
Yeah, just 1 second. All right, Elixir can go ahead.
Okay, so Elixir is going to target number 2, and crikey, I gotta keep the screen door open, and gonna pop off an arrow using sharp shoot. Did that roll?
No.
That's odd. Let's try that again. I'm getting a script error.
Did you load all the modules?
Yes, I do believe so.
What were you trying to do?
Just trying to attack. And I got all the, I got him targeted, and I did it both ways, both tossing it on him and just targeting him and clicking. And
Maybe it's like one of their features, like they can cancel out your abilities with script errors.
No, I don't think so.
let's see.
Well, let's go ahead and remove your longbow and re-add it.
Like the Fantasy Grounds equivalent of Missigno. Those of you who remember your Pokemon should be laughing right about now.
Nope, not a Pokemon. I'm too old for that.
Oh wow. I thought you were cool.
You got me, Greg. You got me. Alright, so let's just try this again. Oh, skip there.
All right, just drag it into the chat box. So yeah, so I just rolled it. There you go.
That's fine.
But you
Yeah,
have them targeted still? Yeah.
yeah, I do. I see the damage worked.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, so so we'll just do that for now.
Okay.
It's a lot of damage.
Yes, I went sharpshooter. If you didn't notice.
Now I notice.
Hang on. Let me just make sure you're actually hitting which guy too.
Yeah, it was still 2.
Hang on one second. AC is 16, so that's a miss.
Crike. Actually, something went wrong on that.
I think you might be able to drag the attack onto the guy. Let's see.
Yeah, but something went wrong because that didn't take
that
into
didn't.
account the sharpshoot.
Okay.
The first one didn't either, but a 20 would have hit, so that's not an issue. But this one, so it says +9, right? And it should have had a -5. Because the effects
okay.
are on the character tab.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's something up with that character sheet. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so just drag it to the so it's a 16 to hit. So
No.
so just drag it to the box and then
No, so the second one was definitely a miss.
yeah, second one was a miss.
Yeah, so the first one was good because the damage was legit. Second one was bad, so that's it for Elixir. Although, you know, she'll cry out and she'll back up to right there,
Okay.
and then she'll pass it.
All right. Delruse.
And Daruz will step up to right there, and he is going to cast a spell. He will cast.
Pappy's up next.
He will cast Protection, Good and Evil
Okay.
on. Hold on, is it? Let me see if it's a touch. It is a touch. So he'll have to step in, but he's just briefly going to touch Elixir and then back up.
Okay.
So he has given Protection of Good and Evil to Elixir. He's backed up,
Okay.
and that's it for him. And he used the first level spell. Let me click that on. Bada boom! Passing it out. Getting the water.
All right, Pappy, you're up. Can't hear you if you're talking. Or if you're just moving.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And targeting the landman. Well, yeah, landman one, whatever. And we're gonna go with a unarmed strike.
All right. All right.
Would have hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Went over this guy.
There
Nice.
you go.
And I'm gonna attempt a stunning strike on him.
Okay. Is there... Okay,
And
he failed.
So he's stunned, and I'm going to move an extra 10 feet, so that's 30 feet, and I'm going to target land absolutely 2. And I'm going to use my second attack on him, second unarmed strike. Number 2.
That's a hit.
Don't know why it doesn't do the thing. That's okay. I'm doing it on the right one, right? I'll just roll like that. That'll be better.
All right.
And one more attempt at a stunning strike. And that's a
Then he
failure
failed.
too, and he is also stunned, and so we are going to... I'm not going to use another key point for a flurry of blows, but I used 2 for stunning strike there, so I'm just going to use my bonus action to make 1 unarmed strike against number 1. I'm sorry, number 2.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. Lovely.
That's a hit.
Ah, beautiful. And then I'm going to, I have 5, 10, 15 more feet of movement, and that'll be my turn.
All right, he
They're both
is
stunned until the end of my next turn. So they,
stunned, Dalrin.
that's beautiful. What makes me excited, Ren has, what, 10 feet? I'm not sure if you can see here. That's a little bit. Want to try out some cool stuff? I think I can because I can't see either. Can I don't think I have enough movement to try to happy. Oh well. Can you guys hear me? Okay?
Yeah, you're a little choppy, but we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Well, then instead, So I'm going to use my action to dodge,
Okay.
and a bonus action to cast a spiritual weapon, because it says I can make a weapon and then attack a creature within 5 feet of it.
Yep.
So I want to create it, right, I'll put Pappy there for a second, right there.
What kind of weapon?
It's a holy looking mace. And so it will target him. And cast. Oh man, critical hit.
Hey.
And that's a bunch of damage. 15 force damage, and he's dodging, so that'll be...
There's your spiritual weapon.
Ah, thank you.
It's a gold mace.
Ah, I love it.
All right. Elixir.
All right. So,
And you have advantage on everything.
so I have advantage against both of them.
Yep.
Alright.
They're both stunned.
All right. So, hopefully I get this figured out. So, I think it was the fighting style. So I had taken archery. So I'm just gonna do +2 because I'm thinking. That's
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So I'm gonna do. So it's +2 and advantage. I'm gonna try to do the number 2 first, and that's what I have targeted. So let's see. Nope, that didn't work. Will this one work? Nope.
Just go ahead and roll it in the roll it in the chat.
Yeah, and then it's here we go.
We'll have to sort that character out some other time. I don't know what's up with that. I didn't get a chance to review it. All right, yeah, definitely a hit.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to give you the right number. So, -3 to that, so it's a 20. So yeah, so that would hit.
Yeah, as long as it's above 16.
And then here's the damage, which is rolling right.
Lovely.
Yep.
Oh, that was weird. All right. And then second attack.
So I am using Thea Geek's improved
Ouch.
critical as well.
But that was supposed to be an advantage, and it didn't roll twice, right?
It did not roll twice. So go ahead and roll it again.
Oh, now it does it.
All right. Yeah.
So that would be. That's so annoying. 11 plus.
20 minus 5 is 15.
11
4.
plus 6.
Yeah. So that would be a hit,
Yeah.
right?
So that would be a hit. Yes. Playing some Mathfinder.
There we go.
All right.
Nice.
All right, and then I would just drop back. There's no reason to stay up front.
All right. Delruz.
Ooh, he's a bit away though. And these BCs are tough too.
Kill him.
Yes, definitely want to kill him. He'll cast spiritual weapon as well.
Oh boy. What kind of weapon do you want? Sword.
Axe.
Of course.
Nice.
He'll use a third level, so it's a 2d8.
Axe. I am axing.
And then it just rolls using his normal attack, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it can't attack on this turn, right?
The spiritual weapon can attack this turn, yes.
All right.
So because I do not have an axe token, I just give you the W. That's a hit.
Just like the referees and the Patriots.
All right. So let's see.
Boom. Josh Rosen for the loss.
Josh Rosen. Jetson taking an amazing D lineman with the first pick. Name a better duo.
Yep. All right.
And so I gotta add 1d8, so I'll roll it on the screen and you can just add that.
Yep.
So another 4.
All right, I got it.
I'm good.
All right, Pappy's up.
5, 10, 15. I can occupy the same space as a spiritual weapon, don't you think?
Yes.
It's not really a creature.
Well, why don't we just move the spiritual weapon in between the two of them, like
Yes.
right there?
That works.
Spiritual weapon.
Like there or whatever. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Pappy. Oh, what are we going to do on an arm strike? Oh, we're going to hit. It's not an advantage, though, strangely enough.
Yeah. I don't,
it says it's not stunned for whatever reason. Let me just roll again and see if I roll a 20. I don't.
Yeah, the stun ended because it was duration 1. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just the thing says it's
to
until
the end of your
my
turn, yeah.
That next turn, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll just try to. I was gonna try to stun him again anyway. So stunning strike. Damn.
Succeeded.
All right, gonna attack again.
I have to at least be able to attack you once with these guys.
Not necessarily. And then flurry of blows. I'm gonna attack it twice more.
Okay. It's a hit. Yep. That one's a miss.
Crap. And then no, he's not stunned or anything like that. I'm just going to run and take an opportunity. No, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay.
And
All right, number 1 is going to move.
Wait, he takes an opportunity attack right there from me.
I mean, technically he could go like that, but
Aww.
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Kind and benevolent DM viewers.
Go ahead and take your opportunity attack.
Missed anyway, but still.
Okay.
Kind and benevolent.
So he's gonna move up, and he is going to attack. He's gonna target.
Is the
Elixir.
creature an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead?
It is undead.
Okay. So the elixir has protection from good and evil.
It should work,
Yeah,
but the rest of it has. Well, the rest of it has been actually. It's just stunning strike
so
expired.
you should have disadvantage.
It should automatically take. Fingers crossed. Nice.
Disadvantage.
No.
Automatic miss.
Well, he's got multi-attack. So, sorry, he's got multi-attack. So here goes the second to try.
Well, so do the rest of us.
Disadvantage.
And that's also a miss. So, hold on, let me check and see. 2 great sword attacks. Okay, all right, cool. So nothing doing there. So now this guy's going to attack Poppy.
You could kill Poppy.
So here's
What?
attack number 1.
Wait,
That is a
Wait.
hit.
wait, hang on.
What do you mean? Wait.
I'm just kidding. He said you can kill
Oh,
Pappy.
all right. So that's attack number 1, and there's some damage.
Yeah,
And here's attack number 2, and that's also a hit. And here's some more damage.
Puppy.
Okay. Pappy, Pappy taking some damage,
Yes.
and that's it. All right, Dalrin.
Howard is very upset to see that. Whoops, I'm still as Pappy. So Dalrin is going to target the land optonager, number 1. And is going to use
So you guys, now that you're fighting them, you notice that one of these looks male and the other one looks female.
Oh. Cute. I don't have ceremony prepared, but like if I did, that would be pretty cool.
Noted.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna move. How about that? No, I'm just gonna stay there, and I'm going to use guiding bolt against that dude. At first level is fine. Yes. It says cast. I'll try just attack then. Okay, that didn't work either. Yeah, indexing global range attack.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, it's something weird. Okay. That doesn't hit, does it? Shit.
Does not hit.
But I believe even if it doesn't hit, no, never mind. It doesn't give the grand advantage attack. So I'm just going to move my spiritual weapon. Actually, my spiritual weapon is going to stay where it is and attack the land number 2, the one near Pappy. Spiritual weapon, him, and that's a hit. I could at least do something. You know, it's good to do something. That's 13 damage. That's
Oh,
what I like.
I'm gonna try this guiding bolt again. Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right, I fixed it.
Nice.
So the ranged attack should work fine now. I found a bug. Found a bug.
And you fixed the bug. You're so.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. You gotta think on your toes. All right, so
Did Dalrun stay in spot?
Yeah, I stayed where I am.
All right. Hmm.
you
I
can.
move?
Oh well, no, never mind.
All right. So Nightshade is gonna not sharpshoot because at this range it's disadvantage, right?
Yep.
All right.
And you do have your bow out, so you'd have to either drop your bow if you wanted to, draw another weapon, or, yeah, you have to figure out what you want to do. You could take a disengage action and fall back, which would allow you to move out of the threatened area without taking an opportunity attack. And you could disengage behind your party members.
It's all good. It's gonna be a couple of shots. Let's see if this time works. Actually, hang on a second. I gotta untarget. And let's see. Target one. Let's see if that works. Oh, I got a ton of script errors this time.
What?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get.
Welcome to the world of bug fixing, Brian.
Damn it. All right.
It's okay. It's all right.
Working for me. I just did it. I
Yeah,
just
so-
double clicked on the longbow attack.
Yeah. All right. So you got
So
the hit.
close your character sheet and reopen it.
Okay, hold on. And what
And-
try it.
Bam.
Nice.
Look at that, huh?
All
All
right,
right,
so
that's a hit. It still didn't.
Well, I didn't have him targeted.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
All right, so let's see. Nope. It's the targeting. 'Cause as soon as I targeted him, I get the script error.
That's weird. Okay. All right. Well, bugs to report.
Yep. So that was helpful though. And sorry, so that would have hit, and then the damage has been working. So this is on arrow 1. All right. So here's attack. The second attack. Oh, actually, I should have done that at disadvantage, right?
Yeah. If you're engaged in melee, firing from melee is disadvantage.
He did.
Even
roll
if you're
like
firing
he
at
was
somebody else.
Yeah. Well, there was. If it's
Special
cool,
hit.
those were 2 rolls right there. You had done one for me, and I did one. If you're good with that.
All right. I think I might have fixed it now. Hold on. Let's see.
That's what you said last time.
To go ahead and target him real quick.
Target.
Oh yeah. Oh it's fixed now.
Okay. All right. So
Nice.
this is. So you want me to? Sorry. Should I do my second attack right now at a disadvantage? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Disadvantage is clicked, and it rolled.
Yeah, it hit anyway.
And
Oh
it
my
hit.
god, it didn't do the thing though.
But you
No, wait,
fixed
yeah,
it.
it did.
Yep. It hit. Yep.
It worked.
All right. And here comes the damage.
We're rolling a lot of max damage here, guys.
Yeah, not bad. He will stay there, seeing how he has the spell on him. Alright, so Delruse. So first Delruse will use his bonus action, right, to make the spiritual weapon attack. Let's see. Use his spiritual weapon. Do you think it's been fixed for, or I can't remember if it was working for him or not.
Yeah. Everything should be working now.
The only thing is, why did it do disadvantage on him for the spiritual weapon?
That's a good question.
Unless it took the range, but it shouldn't have, because...
Yeah. Because, yeah, it shouldn't account for range with spiritual weapon because it's right up against them.
Right, so it dropped an 11. Well, actually, we wouldn't know because it made me roll twice. So should oh, maybe because I think that was my error. Maybe roll one more time. Heat. And then I'll just and then so remember how I upcast it with the third level spell? Is it always going to stay at the 2d8?
It will if you set it in the weapon. So like you'd have to go in and set the 2d8 manually.
Okay, I'll do that real quick. Just I think it makes life easier. There's the diamond.
Hey!
I killed it.
Nice.
All right. And then for his regular action, he will cast. The.
All right, hang on one second, guys. We got a quick audio challenge. Hang on. Hang.
There we go. Yes.
Okay. We had a quick challenge with the audio there for a second, but I sorted it out,
really?
so we should be good. We did lose music for now, but I'll let me see if I can sort that out too.
Stunning strike and he fails.
Someone has
You did get to attack. Like FYI, just saying, you did get to attack. And attack number 2. And just bonus action, 1 attack will be plenty, I think. Oh, fucking crit. Fucking crit.
Nice.
Boom. So with that last, like, his just flurry of blows, if you will, has just wrecked the hell out of him. And then in the last blow, he like jumps up and gives like a headbutt that just like knocks him into the floor.
All right, he's stunned. He can't do anything, so.
Stunned.
And this should be very fun. Dalrin has Elfin. I don't think Fantasy Grounds supports it, but it does have Elfin accuracy. So if this misses, I'll be able to roll one more d20 to try to hit or crit. So Ray of Frost. Oh, see? Now I can roll just one more d20 to see. Whoops. Well, either of those would have hit. So because of the Elfin accuracy.
Yep, no, hit.
Hooray! Not fantastic damage. But I will also bring over my spiritual weapon and beat the hell out of him. Barely hit. Oh yes. Oh yes. Nice. Almost 30 damage there. Love sorcerers.
All right, elixir's up.
All right. And
So I apologize to those watching. We had a bit of an issue with Sirenscape, so we are without music right now. But I will. I can sing a song or something.
But if you'd like to sing along,
but we'll get back to you.
we're glad to have you beatbox.
oh, so I had advantage and disadvantage, so that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, so they
Cancel
nullified.
itself out. Yeah.
And then he will sharpshoot this time. So let me find sharpshoot. Sharpshoot. Right here. Bada bing. Bada boom.
Oh, nice.
Eat. Splash.
Maximum damage. Whoa. Whoa.
All right, so hammer time, as they say.
Oh wow, as the kids say.
Don't you have to stop first?
He did.
Yeah, you're supposed to stop first before hammer
Yeah.
time.
He did stop, and he hammered.
Nice.
And then I gotta put a bing, bada boom.
All right.
Lovely.
I kill him.
Oh, you killed it! Whoa! I didn't even see that.
Oh, is that it? He's dead. Oh yeah, he killed him.
Yeah.
All right. So when the spiritual weapon lands, you see a flash of light, and the body, the undead body, slumps to the floor. And rising from the undead body is a ghostly specter is a ghostly visage of the unknown, or the unknown Jarl, right? The person who is in all of the images that you saw earlier in this complex, or the Forgotten Jarl. Sorry, not the unknown, the Forgotten Jarl. And it rises and kind of begins to speak, and it says, "I am Jarl Stongar Liberson, and that is my wife Yagatha." And you see the female body rise from the one that died in the room. We were trapped here by an evil necromancer who reanimated our bodies and forced us to murder any who came to this tomb. You have freed us from the prison of this undead afterlife, and we are now free to pursue our fates in Valhalla. This tomb is known as the Tomb of 20, or sorry, this tomb is known as the Tomb of Liberson, and we want you to share that information. Unfortunately, the Skald was unable to defend himself from our attacks. He was not as mighty as you.
Was he valiant in battle? His master will want to know.
We killed him stealthily. He didn't even know. We killed
So-
him as he wrote.
That's a no. It's what you said. You said your name was Jarl Stone.
Stongar Liberson.
Oh, okay. Stonegar Liberson, and this is the Tomb of Liberson. Perfect.
And my wife Yagatha. He says, as reward for freeing us from this eternal prison, what can I do for you? I can answer one question you have.
We seek, and this is why we sought Braggy Partisan, the poor man in the other room. We seek the Saros Neksha. We have heard that Braggy was attempting to find it. Perhaps he even found it here, but we cannot understand his writings. Do you know where we can find the Saros Neksha?
At the end of the first stage, Yargatha and I buried the Saros Neksha within the tomb of 20 kings. There you will find it. And with that, there's a flash of light, and you see, like, it almost looks like the scene from the room before, where, like, kind of in the ceiling, you know, the ceiling almost disappears, and you see a cloudscape, and within the cloudscape, there are faces of some of the different gods that the Vic Mordir worship, and a beam of light comes down, and the Jarl and his wife are kind of bent backwards, and they're lifted, you know, up off the ground. Their spirits are lifted up off the ground and ascend upwards. And as they ascend, you see like just below the faces of the gods is what looks like a battlefield, and there are warriors just battling, you know, in what looks like just a massive battlefield, and the Jarl and his wife are ascending to this battlefield area.
So now they're out of the way, maybe we can finally loot that treasure chest.
And as he's leaving, he says,
Don't touch my shit.
My treasures of this tomb are yours to take for liberating me from this terrible curse. That said, the chest is trapped. Be sure to open it from a distance.
Very nice. Very nice.
And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up there, because I think we got some seeds to some future storylines. In the chest, you guys find 2,500 silver and loose coins, 800 gold, a bunch of other stuff. So here, I'll just go ahead and drop that in the party sheet, because why not? Here we go. Boom. There we go. Bunch of stuff. And yeah, so there we go. So this, as I said, was a primer to a campaign setting that I'm working on, which is going to focus, heavily on. And hold on a second, I'm just going to kick us back to the chat. All right, so this focuses heavily on kind of Norse mythology and and different elements of kind of the Norse legends, the kind of Viking inspired traditions. So that said, I'm really interested. So those of you that watched and followed along, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. But if you have any feedback or want to see more content like this, please do let us know. The details are on the channel down there at the bottom. You can get in touch with us. But thank you all. And with that, we're going to sign off. All right, guys, say good night.
Good night.
Have a nice night, guys.
All right, and here we go.